Assalamualaikum and hi. In the previous video, you have successfully created a simple login interface where you have different components included in that interface. And if you still remember these, we have, for example, JPanel, JLabel, JButton, JTextField. And we know that JPanel here is actually a string container, whereas for JLabel, JButton, and JTextField, these are all the string controls. So what are Java string controls? In simple words, string controls are the graphical user interface elements that you can add to the interface that you are going to design. What we have seen earlier are the most common types of string controls, for example, the JLabel, JButton, and JTextField. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can actually create a registrations page like this, where we are going to explore more different types of string controls. Let's get started. What you can see here is actually another project which I have created. And if you look into this, you can see a few string controls that you should have familiar with by now. For example, in this interface here, I have a JPanel, and that JPanel is actually titled border with the title registration page. I also have a few labels here. First name, last name, gender, state, about yourself. I have two input text fields which allow the user to input their first name and last name. And finally, I have the registered button. Now I'm going to show you how you can actually add some other types of string controls or the graphical user interface elements into these registrations form. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the checkbox to indicate male and female for gender. Right, so I will select under the string control here, checkbox, drag and drop it to the gender. So I have one checkbox and I have the second checkbox here. As usual, I will need to change the value here to male and also to female. Now for the state, I would like to have a kind of like a drop-down list, and in string, we have what we call as the combo box here, which represent the drop-down list. So I'm going to drag and drop this here, the combo box, beside my state here. Of course, I can change the size here. And by default, you will see item 1 here. In order for me to add in the values that I want, what I can do is I can right click on the state and go to the properties. Or if you like, you can click on this combo box. And again, you will see the properties here. And you can select it from here. Specifically, we will need to go for model. You can see here item 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, click on the ellipsis and you can change the value here. For example, I'll put in Terengganu. Of course, I'm not going to put in all the states, just a few states, for example, Kelantan and also Pahang. I will remove item 4 here and I will click on OK. So you can see here later on, when you click on the drop-down list, you will have these 3 selections which we have created just now. Now I'm going to move on to the final stage here, where I'm going to add an input text field into my about yourself. Of course, you might think that you can actually add in a text field like this, but there's limitations with the text field where you can only enter a single line of, input or sentences into text field. So the more appropriate elements that we can use in this case will be the text area. So what I'll do is I'm going to drag and drop the text area here into about yourself. Okay. I'm going to do a preview. As you know, we will click on this symbol with the icon, and you will see here I can put in the first name, I can put in the last name. I can check whether on male or female. Of course, you can twist this so that the user can only select one of the options. Then here in the drop-down list, because we have added in the 3 options, as you can see, Terengganu, Kelantan, and Pahang, and under this about yourself, you can type wherever you like here under about yourself. And of course, there's a register button. Also, I would like to show you something which can be very helpful. Always explore the properties features of each of the components. For example, in the text area, let's say if I want to put in some default text, so for example, I put in this is about myself, and I do not want people to edit that. What I can do is when I click on that text area, I can go to the properties here. For editable, I can just uncheck this. Okay. The difference now is that when I do a preview, okay, because I have unchecked the editable, which does not allow user to edit that text area anymore, so I cannot type in any extra text within my text area. There's one more thing that I want to show you is that if you notice just now, I can check on both male and female, which supposed not to be the case. To fix this problem, we will need to add a button group. So what I can do here is I'm going to go to the string control. I'm going to select button groups and drag and drop it here. Okay. So when I drag and drop the button group here, you didn't see anything in the interface. But now if you go to the navigators, you will see here under the other components, you have one button group 1. Now I'm going to put my checkbox, both of the checkbox, into my button group. How I can do this is I can click on the mail, go to the property, you will see button group. So just make sure that this is checkbox 1, which is my mail checkbox. Go to the button group. Now in the drop-down list, select button group 1. And you will need to do the same for the second one, which is the female checkbox. Click on that. Go to the button groups and select button group 1 as well. Now, if I do another preview, you will notice that I cannot select both male and female at the same time. So these are the different types of string controls or Java GUI elements that I would like to share with you in this video. I hope you can continue to explore different types of string controls so that you can create a much more interesting Java graphical user interface. Thank you very much.